so just keep that open communication, and we'll make it the best for everybody.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Any other questions? Otherwise, I want to, like I said, I want to linger a little bit and talk about some more of what the relevance of Chick-fil-A means for us. Because we talk about the experience, the guest experience, the team experience, and the people that first recognized customer experience as a unique economic offering were Joe Pine and Jim Gilmore. They wrote this book, The Experience Economy, based on something called the progression of economic value. And you'll see where this goes here in a second. What they noted was that in the agrarian economy, you extracted commodities from the earth. In the industrial economy, you took those commodities and you made them into goods. Now you had a higher economic offering. In the service economy, they delivered services around the goods that created, again, higher value. And now in the experience economy, the reason that people are willing to pay more for experiences is something we're going to talk about. So let me give you an example just using coffee. So in the coffee bean, coffee closed at about $2.30 a pound last week. I mean, there's 4 to 6 cents of coffee bean in a cup of coffee. But if you roast those beans, grind them, and put them in a jar with Maxwell House on the outside, now it's gone from a commodity to a good. And that product can be sold for 10 to 20 cents worth of bean in a cup of coffee. In a restaurant or diner, something like that, around $2. So what might be a coffee experience that we're all familiar with? Blake, I'm looking at you.
Starbucks.
There you go. Or as my grandpa, when he was still alive, called $4 because he couldn't believe anybody would spend $4 on a cup of coffee. But now, because of that, you have banks putting coffee shops in their lobby, including here in Sioux Falls, where my daughter works at Coffea, that's connected to First Bank and Trust right here in Sioux Falls. And it's the one bank that my daughters actually like to hang out in the lobby of at least once a week. And that's because fewer and fewer people are spending time in banks, and more people are spending time in coffee shops because it's about time. You see, time is the currency of experiences. The dividing line, literally here, between services and experiences is time. On services, I want my time to be saved. So for instance, if I go to get my oil changed, I'm willing to pay $50 because it's going to save me an hour and maybe a ruined set of clothes. But time well saved is the service. Time well spent is the experience. So I spend about $80 on an oil change because I go to Vern Ide and they have a coffee machine. They have places where I can plug in my laptop. They have free Wi-Fi. I've actually sat there and done work before because I kind of like the atmosphere. Right? That's time well spent. So it's not just that they're saving my time with the oil change. I'm enjoying the time that I spend there. Now I want to bring that back to Chick-fil-A. So, who wants to guess the fastest of the top 10 fast food franchises? Who is the fastest speed of service?
McDonald's.
It's a good guess.
I guess it'd be Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Who do you see at the bottom of the top 10? Chick-fil-A. Right? Who has the longest average waiting time? Chick-fil-A. Who has the longest average total time? Chick-fil-A. They're dead last in all time categories among the top 10. Where are they first?
Sales.
Yeah, but when they look at speed of service, they're number one. So they're 10th in actual time, and first in speed of service satisfaction. How can that be? So now let's look at how would you rate the service that you received. 91% rated Chick-fil-A friendly. Second place was, nobody else was even over at 80%. Right? So Chick-fil-A is not, they're not going for time, necessarily time well saved. They don't want to be the fastest. They want the time to be well spent. That's why they get everybody to say what when you ask them for something?
My pleasure.
That's right. There's a great story on that where the founder, Truett Cathy, was hanging out with the founder of the Ritz-Carlton. And Horst Schulze, the founder of Ritz-Carlton, said, you know, we say my pleasure, but you might want something a little less formal. And Truett Cathy said, no, I like that. We're going to do that. So that is when we talk about speed of service. Is that in the 80% or is that in the 20%?
80.
Yeah, it's in the 80%, right? That's what everyone's chasing: efficiency, speed. If I can just do it fast. Now, if you look at those numbers, Chick-fil-A is the slowest, but they can't double it, right? They can't be the lowest by 15 minutes. But that's not where they want to compete. They want to compete on the 20%, the time well spent, the my pleasure, the thing that makes them feel like the service is friendly. Okay, so with that framing again and that thought, what else can be in our 20%? What are the areas that we can innovate that's going to make us stand apart from other restaurants?